You know, some experiences, they just stick with you. They rewrite your entire understanding of reality. And for me, that experience happened in a place that looks completely unassuming on the outside. A quiet, Victorian-era house in Atchison, Kansas. But what happened inside those walls? It changed my life forever. I mean, honestly, I'm still not quite the same. If you've ever felt that chill down your spine, that undeniable feeling that you're not alone, then you know what I'm talking about. Stick around because this isn't just a story, it's a warning. And hey, while you're here, if you like these kinds of deep dives into the terrifying, please hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and trust me, there are more unsettling tales where this came from. So who am I? Just a regular guy, late 20s at the time, obsessed with the paranormal. Not in a ghost hunter kind of way, more of a I want to see it to believe it kind of way. I'd spent years devouring books, documentaries, anything about the unexplained. And the Sallie House, it kept coming up over and over again. It's infamous, right? Supposedly one of the most haunted houses in America. Tales of a little girl, Sallie, who died there, and something else, something dark. Most people only spend a few hours, maybe a night. But I wanted to immerse myself. I wanted to see if the legends were true. So, I managed to book a 3-day stay. Yeah, I know, crazy, but I was so confident, so naive. I packed my gear, cameras, audio recorders, thermal imager, the whole 9 yards. I arrived on a brisk October afternoon, the air already thick with that crisp, almost ominous autumn chill. The house itself looked sleepy, quaint. It didn't scream haunted, but then I opened the door. The moment I stepped inside, the temperature dropped. Not just a little, it was like walking into a meat locker. And the air, it felt heavy, like static electricity, you know? Like before a big thunderstorm. I tried to brush it off. Old house, I told myself. Drafty. I set up my equipment in what was supposedly Sallie's room upstairs. It was a small room with a window overlooking the quiet street. Nothing too creepy, at first. The first night was unsettling. Little things. My flashlight, fully charged, would flicker erratically, then die. I'd change the batteries, and it would work perfectly again, then die. Over and over. I heard faint whispers like children playing, but they seemed to float from inside the walls, not from outside. I'd pause my recording, strain my ears, and then silence. Total, absolute silence. And the smells. Sometimes a sweet, sickly floral scent like decaying flowers would waft through the room, then vanish just as quickly. Other times something acrid, almost like burnt hair. But the strangest thing was the feeling of being watched. Constantly. Even when I was alone in a room, I felt eyes on me, following my every move. I'd spin around, heart pounding, expecting to see something, anything. Nothing. Just the shadows playing tricks, or so I kept telling myself. Then came the second day. The activity ramped up considerably. I was downstairs in the living room, reviewing some audio from the night before when I heard it, a distinct scratching sound coming from the kitchen. Like nails on wood. I froze, listening. It stopped. I slowly made my way to the kitchen, camera rolling. Nothing. No marks on the counters, no evidence. I even checked under the sink, nothing. But then, as I was walking back, a heavy antique book sitting on a shelf slid off and crashed to the floor, pages splayed. It wasn't knocked. It slid slowly, deliberately. Later that evening, while I was in the bathroom, I heard what sounded like a child's giggle from Sallie's room upstairs. Clear as day. I scrambled out, heart hammering against my ribs, and ran up the stairs. The room was empty, but the little rocking chair in the corner, it was rocking gently back and forth, and I swear, I saw the indentation of a small child's body on the seat cushion, as if someone had just gotten up. I couldn't believe it. I was shaking. This wasn't drafts. This wasn't my imagination. And then the physical stuff started. Small scratches appeared on my arms and legs. Not deep, just superficial. Thin red lines, like someone had dragged a fingernail across my skin. They'd appear out of nowhere, stinging for a moment, then fade. Always on my dominant arm, my right arm, and the temperature fluctuations became extreme. One moment, the room would be freezing. The next, it would feel like an oven. I even recorded a temperature spike of almost 30 degrees Fahrenheit in the middle of a room, with no discernible heat source. It felt like something was playing with the environment just to mess with me. Honestly, I started to feel a profound sense of unease, a cold dread seeping into my bones. This wasn't just a ghost. This felt malevolent. The third night, that's when everything spiraled. I was trying to sleep in the master bedroom, figuring maybe Sally's room was too active. Big mistake. Around 3 a.m., I was jolted awake by a searing pain on my right arm. It felt like someone had dragged a hot poker across my skin. I screamed, fumbling for my phone, trying to turn on the flashlight. When I finally got it on, I saw it. 3 deep, angry red claw marks, running parallel, carved into my forearm. They weren't scratches anymore, they were gashes, bleeding. And then I heard it. A low, guttural growl, not human, coming from the foot of my bed. The air in the room became impossibly heavy, crushing. I couldn't breathe. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would burst out of my chest. My eyes were wide open, straining in the dim light, and I swear, just for a split second, I saw it. A tall, dark, shadowy figure looming at the foot of my bed. It wasn't Sally. This was something else. Something ancient and terrifying. Its eyes, or where its eyes should have been, were pinpricks of glowing red light, burning into my soul. It felt like pure, unadulterated evil. It was radiating a hatred so intense it was physical. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My body was paralyzed, a prisoner in my own bed. The figure, it felt like it was leaning in, its presence suffocating me. The growl intensified, filling the room, rattling my bones. I could feel its cold, rancid breath on my face. And then I heard a whisper, clear as day, right next to my ear. Not Sally's voice. A deep, raspy, malevolent voice that seemed to vibrate through my entire being. It said, "Get out." I don't know how I broke free. It was like a surge of adrenaline, a primal instinct for survival. I scrambled out of bed, grabbing my bag, not even bothering with my cameras. I ran. I didn't look back. I flew down the stairs, threw open the front door, and didn't stop running until I was in my car, fumbling with the keys, my hands shaking so violently I could barely put them in the ignition. I peeled out of the driveway, leaving the Sallie House behind in my rearview mirror, a dark, silent sentinel of terror. The scratches on my arm eventually healed, but the scars are still there. Not just the physical ones, the emotional ones are deeper. I haven't been able to sleep soundly since. Every creak of the house, every shadow, every unexpected sound sends my heart racing. I'm not a skeptic anymore, I'm a believer. A terrified, forever changed believer. I tried to process the footage I got, but most of it was corrupted, static-filled. Almost like something didn't want the truth to get out. And sometimes, late at night, when the house is quiet and the moon is full, I still hear it. That low, guttural growl, and I feel that cold, rancid breath on my face. It's like a part of that house, a part of him, followed me home. Thank you for listening to my story. I know it's a lot to take in. It was a lot to live through. If you've had your own chilling encounters, I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. for a brand new episode of Terrifying True Stories. Sweet dreams, if you can have them.